Hi, Clive and Kerry Daly from the Daily Hub, and we're delighted today to have Emma from Ed Freelance Admin with us. And Emma, you're going to take us through your journey. You've been in business, what, a year? So can you tell us about your journey that you've been through over the last year?
Yeah, it actually goes back quite a long way to how I got started. I got started in admin when I was back in year 10 doing my work experience.
Right.
I went to work in a warehouse where my stepdad used to work, and I was put in the warehouse for 1 week, and then I was put in the office for 1 week. And in the office, I had never ever considered being an administrator or working in an office environment. And I just loved it in the office. I absolutely thrived there. In fact, they just gave me piles of work and just left me to get on and do it. And that's when I knew I loved it. And then I went on to college and did an executive administrator course. And from there on, I went into an admin role. So I've been employed doing admin jobs now for 10 years. And it's in my family to kind of work for yourself. It's kind of, my dad's self-employed, my stepdad's self-employed, so I never had the confidence to. So it's taken me 10 years of working first to get a confidence together, just to go out on my own and start up from scratch. So I've been doing quite a lot of research. Does this job exist, for example? I didn't even know if doing freelance admin actually exists, if I could work for multiple people. And there are also all the other things that you've got to consider as well, registering for self-employment. Then I've got to do my own returns, and I've got to pay national insurance, and I'm responsible to do it all. So I did quite a lot of research to get into it before I just started it up. But it's been going really well. I've been doing all right, and as you said, I've been going a year now, so and things are going good.
And I can see that you've done that, build your toolkit of education and testing and trial and learning in different companies. So yeah. What's been your biggest challenge through the first year of being in business?
The biggest challenge is building up trust in other people to use you. As with any business, I guess, a plumber, an electrician, you've got to tell people you are trustworthy and you know what you're doing. And I still feel like I've just walked out of school, even though it was 10 years ago, and I still feel like, oh wow, is anybody going to use me because I'm young? But you attract the people that you want to work with. I've found just putting a bit of personality into my posts and things like that when I advertise, people get attracted to you, which is quite nice. And I work with some people now who think just like me, and we get on really well. It's a really good working relationship. So I think, yeah, just building up a trust with other people was the hardest thing. But what I did to begin with, I actually did some associate work, which means that I worked for somebody else who does the same as me. So they sort of subcontracted their own work, and that's how I got started. And that really got me going. And I still do work for her today, which is great.
Right. And what sort of things do you do in your business?
So I've worked with loads of different businesses now. So when I first started, I got into some accountancy work, which was the associate work I was being subcontracted. I had never, ever worked for an accountancy firm before, so I had to learn it all. But I was honest about that, and I said, I don't know what I'm doing. You're going to have to, go through some of the legal process and things with me. But I picked it up. I'm an administrator at the end of the day, so I can just pick it up and go with the flow. I've done social media for a hairdresser. I've worked with another firm who do lead magnets. So I do all the data. I build all the data up so that they can send it on to somebody else to make sales calls or whatever. And then also I'm working with a lady at the moment who owns an Airbnb business and a laundrette. And I do absolutely everything you could think of there. I'm pretty much a PA. It's, can you deal with this email? Can you deal with this? Can you deal with that? So yeah, it's a big variety of stuff that I do.
Fantastic. It's a bit like the people that we work with, because you work with lots of different people, you really have to get that head on of, right, this is who I'm working for now, this is how I talk, you get into the crux of the business.
Definitely, yeah. When I'm speaking to, because I sometimes have to make outbound calls for the accountancy firm, and it's hello, Mr. or Mrs. You know, you've got to put your customer service head on for that. And with the Airbnb, everything's mainly online. So I'm responding to customers that want to extend stays and things like that. So it's just, yeah, it's a complete switch up of how you've got to speak to people.
Yeah.
And I can see it's almost like putting on a different hat for different businesses. And I can see that's really important for you. You've obviously, what you do now is you lead with personality. And I think that's really important for people in business. People buy from people.
Yeah.
The sector that you're in, I think, is definitely growing. There's going to be more need for third-party workout than having people in an office doing a lot of the admin elements of it. Because a lot of what we do now is we do a lot of the admin, I guess, ourselves. But you can't do everything.
No.
Going into, obviously, we've just gone through a really terrible time over the last couple of months. How have you managed or how have you coped with the last few months?
Well, I have had some clients reduce hours, but I actually approached them first because I didn't want them to feel awkward. I didn't want them to have the awkward conversation with me, oh, you know, we're going to need to reduce our hours. So I went to them and said, what's your position? Do you need to reduce? I'm quite fortunate because I could carry on. Most of my business is based online anyway. So although I'm reduced hours now, I have been able to carry on as normal. I'm used to using things like Zoom. I use cloud-based softwares for everything, you know, accounting and everything, Office 365, G Suite. So absolutely everything's based online now. And I think it's going to change how people treat home working now as well, because I don't think people realise you can work from home in some circumstances, and it is possible to outsource as well. I think people they've been forced to outsource to other people, and they've realised, oh, actually, this does work.
Yeah, businesses that said, oh, home working doesn't work in our business, you can't say that now, because guess what? They've had to do it and done it recently.
Yeah,
so for ED Freelance Admin, what's the future look like? What's the next 2 years look like? What are you going for?
So now I've actually started working with a coach that specialises in what I do. So virtual assistant is the title of really what I do. So they're helping me to expand a bit more. So I want to take on some more clients. I'm going to take on more hours. I do have a little boy, so I've started off part-time hours, so I'll be building that up. And I'm also moving into a co-working space, because I'm in my office at the moment, which is lovely at home, but I will be moving into a co-working space, which hopefully I can deliver some more face-to-face stuff, such as training. Because I want to show people how to use certain softwares.
Fantastic. Yeah, I thought that when you were, I'd earmarked that actually while you were talking about the Office 365 and you were rattling off what you do. I thought, oh yeah, you could do with doing some training.
Yeah,
we could do with a bit of training on that.
Well, Emma, thank you very much for joining us today. What an exciting journey you've been on, and wish you a lot of luck for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today.
Thanks.